Most people spend their entire lives chasing a number that doesn't actually exist. You've been told the same story since your first day on the job. Work hard, save everything, and wait until you're 65, or maybe even 70, to finally start living. The logic is simple. Keep working until you have enough. But here's the problem that no one wants to admit. Many people never feel like they have enough. They hit their goal, get scared, and then move the goalpost another 5 years down the road. By the time they finally feel financially ready, they are often no longer physically, mentally, or emotionally ready to actually enjoy the retirement they spent 40 years building. This video is not about reckless quitting or walking away from your responsibilities with $0 in the bank. This is about why retiring before 61 might be the smartest move you ever make, even if your savings are far from perfect. We are going to challenge the traditional retirement planning math and look at why waiting for total financial certainty is often a trap that costs you your best remaining years. Near the end, I'm going to show you a simple bridge plan that makes walking away early far less risky than it sounds. Before we continue, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment below, and hit the notification bell to never miss our next wealth-building breakdown in this changing economy and to help this video reach others in our community needing financial advice. Firstly, we have to define what retire before 61 actually means. For most people, the word retirement triggers an image of sitting on a porch doing absolutely nothing. But in the modern world, that version of retirement is actually quite rare and, frankly, a bit boring. Retiring before 61 doesn't have to mean never earning another dollar again. It means retiring from full-time stress. It means moving into part-time work that you actually enjoy, starting a small consulting side hustle, or simply downsizing your expenses so you don't need a massive corporate salary to survive. It's about using your savings strategically to fund a few bridge years until traditional benefits kick in. The real question isn't whether you can stop working forever tomorrow. The real question is whether you can stop sacrificing your best years to a life that is actively draining you. Most people calculate their exit date based only on money, but they completely ignore the variables of time, energy, and health. The first major reason to consider an early exit is that your best retirement years almost always come before traditional retirement age. We like to imagine retirement as one long 30-year vacation, but the reality is that the first 5 to 10 years are the ones that matter the most. These are your go-go years. This is when your physical mobility is at its peak, your travel energy is high, and your desire to explore the world is still burning. When you wait until 67 or 70 to retire, you are often trading your most active years for a few extra zeros in a bank account you might not even be able to use. You can't buy back the ability to hike a mountain or spend a high-energy afternoon chasing grandkids when you're 80. Money can compound over time, but so can regret. What are you saving for if you lose the health required to enjoy it? The second reason is that waiting for enough is a psychological trap. Financial freedom is often less about the math and more about the mindset. Many people stay at the office because they are waiting for a sense of total security that never arrives. They fear a market crash, they fear rising medical costs, or they fear losing their identity once the job title is gone. They stay out of habit rather than necessity. But the truth is, some people aren't actually waiting for more money. They are waiting for more confidence. Instead of asking if you have enough to retire perfectly and never worry again, ask if you have enough to redesign your life and reduce the pressure today. Reason number 3 is a shift in focus. Retirement is more about your expenses than your net worth. People obsess over the size of their portfolio, but the math of early retirement changes dramatically the moment you lower your monthly overhead. Every $500 you remove from your recurring monthly expenses is like buying yourself another year of freedom. If you pay off your house, move to a lower-cost area, or eliminate high-interest debt, the number you need to retire drops by hundreds of thousands of dollars. By simplifying your life, reducing lifestyle inflation, and cutting back on unnecessary subscriptions or luxury car payments, you make the dream of an early exit much more attainable. This leads us to the fourth reason, the power of the bridge plan. You don't need to fund a 30-year retirement the moment you walk out the door. You just need a bridge to get you to the point where other income sources like Social Security or pensions become available. A bridge plan can consist of cash reserves, dividend income, or even a small part-time income. It's about having enough structure to fund the next 3 to 5 years safely. This bridge allows you to step away from the high-stress career while you still have the energy to enjoy your life. You should test this plan before you quit, calculating your minimum survival number and identifying exactly where that gap-filling income will come from. Fifth, consider that semi-retirement might actually beat full retirement. Many people don't need a hard stop, they need a softer landing. Working 2 or 3 days a week or doing seasonal consulting allows you to keep your mind active and your identity intact, while significantly reducing the amount you need to withdraw from your savings. Semi-retirement is like a volume knob for your life. You can turn the work down without turning it off completely. It gives you the freedom of time without the financial panic of a zero-income lifestyle. The sixth reason is one that many people overlook. Your job is likely more expensive than you think. There is a hidden job tax that we all pay. Think about the costs of commuting, the professional wardrobe, the expensive lunches because you're too busy to adequately meal prep, and the stress spending we do just to cope with a job we hate. When you stop working, these expenses vanish. You might find that you don't actually need nearly as much money to live when you aren't spending your income just to sustain the ability to earn that income. Reason number 7 is the most important. The biggest risk isn't running out of money, it's running out of time. Traditional retirement planning is hyper-focused on financial risk, but it ignores life risk. There is a risk that you will run out of health or that you will lose your spouse before you ever get to travel together. The safest financial decision, which is to stay at the job for just 1 more year, can often become the most expensive life decision you ever make. Practicality requires a before 61 inches checklist. First, determine your monthly survival number, not your fantasy number, but the one you need to survive. Healthcare is generally the biggest challenge for early retirees. Third, separate your emergency fund from your retirement bridge. Fourth, have a worst-case backup. I advocate creating 3 retirement scenarios: pleasant, lean, and emergency. Successful retirees plan for reality, not just the dream. We must discuss who should not retire before 61 to be responsible. Walking away early is risky if you have high-interest debt, no emergency fund, or dependents who depend on your income. Retiring without a strategy or income bridge is increased stress with more leisure time, not freedom. You must be honest about your spending. You won't be able to handle your spending with 24 hours of spare time if you can't while working. However, if you are burnt out, live cheaply, and are willing to live simply for freedom, you can retire before 61. For those who value time and experiences over status and stuff, your retirement plan should defend your dignity and health, not perfection. Last but not least, retirement is not only a financial milestone. Rather, it is a decision that pertains to the design of one's life. Under the age of 61, you have the vitality to begin a new chapter in your life. Working on a farm, writing a book, or volunteering to make your area better are all options. In the event that you retire exhausted and broken, you will not have the energy to perform anything other than to recuperate. When you have the largest cemetery portfolio, you can avoid dying. The idea is to live a life of freedom while allowing your body to enjoy it. Be careful not to let the dread of not enough keep you stuck in a life that you have outgrown. Would you rather retire earlier with less money but more energy, or later with greater security but less time to spend it? Comment below with your ideas. For more strategies to optimize your finances for freedom, watch our next video on how to develop a sustainable passive income stream. Thanks for watching. See you next time.